Your invitation to a Chelsea morning here on the early show. On a day like today, a wedding day, being a presidential daughter or son, it looks glamorous, it seems exciting, and Americans have always been fascinated with the children of our chief executives. But coming of age in the White House is far from easy. Joining us this morning from Newton, Massachusetts with more on that, historian Doris Kearns Goodwin. Always good to have you with us. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning to you.
It does look so glamorous from the outside. I mean, really for us here in the U.S., these are our royal families. So for many people today, they're feeling like trying to catch a glimpse of Chelsea Clinton is trying to catch a glimpse of a royal wedding.
No question. I mean, I think ever since the rise of mass media made the people's house, the White House, a subject of interest to the country, we've been fascinated by weddings in the White House. I mean, Alice Roosevelt in 1906 was so sexy, so beautiful. She was known as Princess Alice. There was such a crush of invitations, everybody wanting to be at her wedding, that it made a lot of people mad. And she got wedding presents from all over the world as a result. Tricia Nixon, her wedding was televised, and it was said that the cake had to be big enough for 600 journalists to be able to share in it. So we do have a desire, I think, to see inside these White House families.
Of course, as we know, though, the Clintons famously really said, you know, hands off when it comes to Chelsea while they were in the White House. The press respected that for the most part. As Chelsea got older, she really kept that privacy going. She has never given an interview. She doesn't speak out about this, and understandably doesn't want a lot of people at her wedding. Are you surprised, though, at how little information we're getting about this event?
No, when you think about the way the Clintons brought up Chelsea, they were fiercely protective of her, more than almost any other president except for Woodrow Wilson's protection of his three daughters. And we only knew her as an adolescent. Then we saw that iconic image when she was with her parents after Monica Lewinsky. Now we see her as a fully grown, accomplished woman. And from what I understand, she and Mark wanted only people they knew personally to their wedding. It makes it a different kind of wedding. It's not a political wedding. When Lyndon Bird Johnson was married, evidently there were all the Congress was there, the Supreme Court, you know, the cabinet members. That's not a personal wedding. And I think young people today choose more to have their own friends rather than their parents' desires.
To really let it be about them. Presidential children, the fascination with them really goes across party lines, and it can help to humanize a president. Has Chelsea been helpful for both of her parents politically?
Oh, I think there's no question. When people feel good about the child that's been brought up by the parents, then they feel better about the parents. I mean, good old stiff Nixon evidently was humanized when Tricia was married. He let it out to the press. I'm so nervous about the first dance. I'm going to be awkward. People like that, and his public opinion polls actually went up as a result.
And do you think that we'll see, speaking of dances, do you think we'll see a picture of Bill Clinton and his only daughter dancing at the wedding, or him walking her down the aisle? I imagine there will be some tears shed.
Oh, I'm sure there were. In fact, Hillary said if he actually gets down the aisle without breaking down, she'd be stunned. It was said even when Grant's daughter, Nellie, got married in the White House, that Grant was crying the entire time and nobody could look at his face. So it's a big emotional moment, and he's an emotional guy.
Yeah, absolutely. One last question for you. When it comes to the kids who are living in the White House right now, Malia and Sasha Obama, they moved in there at 10 and 7, a little bit younger than Chelsea. What do you think this will do for them as they grow up in the normalcy in their lives?
I think it's a lot easier if you're younger when it starts, because you get used to being around the White House. Your family is there together more than they are when your husband or your father is running around on a campaign trail. Adolescence is the hardest time because you don't want that attention on you. Chelsea came in as an adolescent, which makes it even more remarkable that she's turned out as well-balanced and accomplished as she has.
Doris Kearns Goodwin, always a pleasure to have you with us. Thanks so much.
I'm very glad to be with you. Take care.